Canada, the vast nation that few truly understand. A land bigger than imagination. Canada is widely recognized as the second largest country in the world by total land area. On a map, it stretches across the northern half of North America like a giant blanket of forests, mountains, lakes, rivers, frozen tundra, and endless wilderness. Yet despite its astonishing size, one surprising fact continues to amaze people around the world. The overwhelming majority of Canada's land is completely uninhabited. Imagine a country so enormous that you could travel for hundreds of kilometers without seeing a single town, village, or even another person. In many parts of northern Canada, this is not an exaggeration, it is everyday reality. Vast regions remain untouched by modern civilization, preserving landscapes that have existed for thousands of years. This unique combination of immense size and remarkably low population density makes Canada unlike almost any other nation on Earth. So why do so few people live across such an enormous country? The answer lies primarily in geography and climate. As you move farther north, temperatures become increasingly harsh. Winters grow longer, colder, and darker. In many northern communities, snow blankets the ground for most of the year, while frozen soil known as permafrost makes construction difficult and agriculture nearly impossible. Transportation is also a major challenge, as many communities are accessible only by aircraft or seasonal ice roads. Because of these conditions, most Canadians have chosen to settle much farther south, close to the border with the United States. This southern corridor offers milder weather, fertile farmland, better transportation routes, and greater economic opportunities. Today, more than 80% of Canada's population lives within a relatively short distance of the American border, even though that area represents only a small portion of the country's total landmass. This creates an extraordinary contrast. The nation occupies nearly 10 million square kilometers of land, yet its population is only around 40 million people. To put this into perspective, many individual cities around the world contain populations equal to or greater than entire Canadian provinces. Canada stretches an incredible 5,500 kilometers from east to west and nearly 4,600 kilometers from north to south. These staggering dimensions mean that traveling across the country is comparable to crossing an entire continent. Flying from Vancouver on the Pacific coast to St. John's in Newfoundland can take as long as flying between many European countries. The country's borders are shaped by three magnificent oceans. To the west lies the mighty Pacific Ocean, whose waves crash against rugged coastlines and towering mountains. To the east stretches the Atlantic Ocean, historically serving as the gateway for millions of immigrants who helped build modern Canada. To the north lies the Arctic Ocean, where floating sea ice, polar bears, and the magical northern lights create one of the planet's most extraordinary environments. Because Canada touches three oceans, its national motto, "From sea to sea," perfectly captures the country's vast geographical identity. Managing such an enormous territory presents unique challenges, including timekeeping. Canada spans 6 official time zones: Pacific Time, Mountain Time, Central Time, Eastern Time, Atlantic Time, and Newfoundland Time. When people in Vancouver are beginning their workday, residents of Newfoundland are already well into the afternoon. This reflects just how immense Canada's territory truly is. But Canada's geography is far more fascinating than its size alone. Each region possesses its own landscapes, climate, wildlife, and cultural identity. The western edge of Canada is known as the West Coast, dominated by the province of British Columbia. This region is among the most breathtaking on Earth, where towering mountain ranges rise almost directly from the Pacific Ocean. The coastal mountains form a dramatic natural barrier between the ocean and the interior. These mountains receive enormous amounts of rainfall from moist Pacific air, creating dense temperate rainforests filled with gigantic cedar, spruce, and Douglas fir trees. Some of these ancient forests have stood for centuries, providing habitats for black bears, wolves, cougars, bald eagles, and countless other species. Farther inland stand the legendary Canadian Rockies, one of North America's most spectacular mountain systems. Snow-covered peaks, turquoise lakes, glaciers, waterfalls, and alpine meadows attract millions of visitors every year. National parks such as Banff and Jasper showcase landscapes so beautiful that they appear almost unreal. Between these mountain systems lie fertile valleys where people have established thriving communities. One particularly remarkable region is the Okanagan Valley. Unlike the image many people have of Canada as a permanently frozen country, the Okanagan enjoys warm, sunny summers and relatively mild winters. This unique climate allows vineyards, orchards, and fruit farms to flourish. Apples, cherries, peaches, grapes, and wine produced here are famous throughout Canada. The incredible diversity found within British Columbia alone demonstrates that Canada cannot be described by a single landscape. Instead, it is a nation of extraordinary contrasts. Where rainforests exist alongside deserts, glaciers overlook fertile valleys, and snow-covered mountains rise above warm lakes. This remarkable geographical diversity is only the beginning of Canada's story. As we continue exploring eastward across the country, entirely new landscapes, cultures, and ecosystems emerge, each contributing to the identity of one of the world's most fascinating nations.